Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Oh, come on. You know it's a bad news story when you start it wrong. Right, come back in a minute. Hey, there we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button. Anyway, I was just talking to you TikTok, just letting people know how crazy this market is. I mean, who would have thought it? 2 days ago, the world was ending and everything was going to zero. Today, everything's going to the moon. Do you know what I mean? It is a wild old ride. And one of which we're going to try and break down into a little bit of detail and sort of try and understand a little bit about what's going on. Yanko, what's going on, man? So, Elaine, a lot of stuff's happened, albeit it doesn't feel like a lot of stuff has happened. Does that make sense? Pretty crazy couple of days, and I guess this is why the market's the market. Do you know what I mean? This is kind of why some people can make it in this game and others can't, right? And it's important to reference that this is not the market for the faint-hearted, and you have to have conviction in what you're investing in. You have to truly understand what this market's all about for you to make it. And it's easy enough. And I actually posted I couldn't help myself today. Someone I can't remember who it was now. Someone posted something on X, like someone that was like, the market's over 2 days ago, and today they were like, oh, we're bullish, everything's, and you're like, oh my god, you guys just do my nut in. Anyway, lots to kind of break down in the markets today. Lots to kind of get into. We're going to talk a little bit about Ethereum. I thought that was going to be a worthwhile discussion on a couple of other things, really. One is Ethereum's going to push this next bull market cycle, or the best next part of it, by the way. So I want to talk a little bit about that. And equally, obviously, it's the second biggest cryptocurrency we have. And I think will then form a pretty aggressive part of why we need to kind of talk about it. And I'm sure many people have got an opinion. ETH has been pretty volatile over the course of the last couple of days. And equally, it's going to drive loads of DeFi narratives that we're starting to talk about. So it's definitely one that's on the list. We're going to break down what's going on with the latest movement, price movement, all the stuff going on in the background. So if you're bullish on Ethereum, stick around, first part of the show. And then we'll do, obviously, the news and anything else that's going on. And then we'll get into DeFi and everything else you guys want to talk about. So good show as always. I'm excited to go through this, and again, it is good to know that, yeah, well, guess what, BTC as well as the rest of the market is, I think we can officially say, pumping today. When you got Sui at 12%, Aerodrome Finance at 20% up on the day, and BTC probably going to break 115 today, you kind of go, oh, we're pretty much back. Which again, if you allow yourself to get into a pretty dark place with everything that's happened, then you'll end up making no money whatsoever. But anyway, what's going on, Craig? Good to see you. Tim's here. Jesse, rocking that 2 months membership. Appreciate you, buddy, as always. Thank you so much. Tomato Pete, Davo, PJ's in the house. Crypto Prince says, hi, all, never sell, just buy for me. There we go. Brandon Harris in the building. Griffin Ash, good to see you. Jared, Rob, Mike, what's going on? Johnny B's here. JFR, welcome in. CJ, the DJ, the legend that is. Good to see you. John Shaw, looking flash in green, my man. Welcome in. Appreciate you. Stardog's here as well. And then welcome everybody here on TikTok as well. Shout out to Rafa in the building. Crypto Mike 75. What's going on, buddy? Thank you for the retweet. Math says, is 5k ETH closer than we think? Yes. Might be this week. Stick around and we'll talk about it in just a minute. Phantom's here. Welcome in. Appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Andrew Willis. Don't forget, do tap the screen, share us out, do all that kind of good stuff. Really, really would appreciate it. Lets people know we're live. Lets people know that there is a common sense channel that isn't just about complete nonsense. I actually, for today, and I will get into it in just a minute, I had some really good feedback, some really positive feedback on some of the videos I put up today. I put 2 videos out today. One talking about how manipulated this market was and what that means. And I actually had some people message me and they were like, man, I just love the content, like really good, factual, hard-hitting, backed up with charts and all the rest of it. And yeah, people loved it and people really engaged with the videos today. So I had a really good day in terms of my videos. So appreciate that if you go one of those, and always good to get the feedback as well. So With that being said, you guys need to fit that way, TikTok, and I will get into what's going on. So, we're going to talk a little bit about Ethereum, then we're going to get into the rest of the market. Just for reference, by the way, BTC is now 114,700 and probably is going to break 115 while we're live. Just my opinion. And for all the reasons I'm going to talk about when we talk about Ethereum, I actually think BTC is going to rally pretty aggressively. Now, you could argue, before we sort of deep dive into what's going on with ETH, that Trump couldn't afford the stocks to open with the risk appetite that we saw with crypto, because you get an enormous disaster in the stock market. Remember, Trump's run on the fact the stock market's booming, so he simply cannot afford a bad news story when it comes to the stock market, which is probably why we are seeing a little bit of a rally, but at the same time, probably why we're going to start to see a little bit more favorable. Just before we go deep dive, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Baron Trump just paid off the US national debt after shorting the crypto crash. The kid is playing another level, FYI. I don't know if you guys see this, but yeah, Baron Trump paying off $37 trillion. So shout out to Baron Trump. No insider info here. Okay. Clearly, I'm joking, by the way, if anyone thinks that Baron Trump just paid off the national debt. So, what do we got when it comes to ETH? And I thought it was worthwhile touching on Ethereum because I think it's going to be the next big thing that's going to drive this final stage of the bull market. Let's be clear about this. We are definitely entering in the back end of this bull, and therefore we need to, that sounds like the weirdest statement in the world, actually, the bull run. And we need to be cautious, okay? We need to be optimistic, but we need to be sensible about some of the trades maybe we're putting on. And if the last 48 hours hasn't shown you that over-leveraging yourself is never a good idea when the game isn't fair, okay? It's like taking a Sunday League team and saying, I'm going to play against a Premier League club, but I'm going to blindfold my team as well. You just sort of don't get into that place. But what does it mean for the charts? And then we'll get into some of the news that's coming out of Ethereum as well, because I think it is worthwhile just touching on a couple of key things that's happened over the course of the last few days. So the ETH chart actually looks pretty bullish. And we've talked about this pattern a number of times before. We've also talked about this setup when it comes to Ethereum and this kind of whole bullish narrative. Now, what you can see as we walking through here is the 20-day EMA, which is this big yellow line that runs all the way through, has actually been a really critical point for the price of Ethereum. When we break below it, we tend to see a pretty aggressive move down. Equally, when we break above it, we tend to see the absolute opposite. And you can note these a couple of points. So obviously we got the break here, and you see ETH went all the way up, running to that 4,800 line. Very, very bullish. We're on the 12. We're on the daily here. I think 12-hour chart is a bit better actually for kind of seeing the point I'm trying to make. You can also see it on a number of other occasions where we come down and we retest some of these key support levels. We then see a spike. And if you come to where we are now, obviously we lost it back here. We actually saw a bullish divergence coming over the 50-day EMA, which pushed us all the way to this mid-range at 38.82, followed by then the bounce back up. Now, we're in a very interesting spot here on Ethereum, bouncing back up. And I think, as I think for the broader market, by the way, I actually think we're going to be retesting these upper ranges. And I talked about this a little bit on in the Discord, actually. If you want to get access to that Discord, link in the description. If you want to become a premium channel member, grab a channel link, membership or a subscription on TikTok, and that's going to get you in there. But I actually think now there's a couple of reasons to believe that Ethereum will now start to push. Maybe over the next 48 hours, I think the market opens are still going to be important. We still look pretty bearish on the futures, particularly on the Dow and the NASDAQ. They all both look pretty dark, actually. And the Hong Kong Stock Exchange also looks dark. Now, as much as that, generally speaking, we see bullishness when it comes to some of these exchanges, this might actually play out more favorable when it comes in here. Remember, CPI data is going to drop even though the government is shut down. We're also going to get some key jobs data this week as well, which is going to support it. But when you look at the market structure on Ethereum, up nearly 10.2% on the day, back up at 41.32, should give you some real confidence that we absolutely are back. And when I say this, I do this in absolute clarity. You can look at previous market dumps. And I talked about this in my video today, but you talk about when FTX collapsed, you talk about when Luna collapsed, you talk about COVID when that hit. And actually, Ethereum was one of the first big movers that started to then push this market a little bit further to the upside, and certainly was one of the key drivers of an altcoin narrative. Take a look at right now at the altcoins minus Bitcoin and stablecoin. We're actually seeing once again another big move to the upside, which I think is bullish. Tim coming in with a gifted membership. Thank you so much, Tim. Griffnash. Man, Griffnash just become a channel member. Let's get it, baby. Thank you so much. 2 Bits not drinking coffee, as us real dudes know what is. Yeah, it's actually a cup of tea, mate. It's like 9 o'clock here. Gotta be sensible. Do you know what I mean? But again, this is starting to play out. Okay, we're not going to go too deep into it, but again, watch out. I think Ethereum bouncing off this lower range. The key we need to see now will be tomorrow's open, a wick up on ETH, a further push, 4,200. Will steals move more bullish. 20-day EMA will certainly flip back positive, and I think that'll kind of rally us to potentially a new market high on Ethereum by the end of next week. I talked about this on Friday, that I actually think now we'll go on a pretty big move for the next couple of weeks. We'll talk about why that is a little bit later on, but watch out for this. Okay, so when we talk about what's going on in the background, this is going to be one of the key drivers that you need to really understand as to why Ethereum is going to be a big push. Now, I know what people are going to say. Well, too bad, everyone's cashing out their staked Ethereum, etc., etc. The queue to get out of that Ethereum pool, by the way, is 41 days, while at the same time, we're actually seeing some pretty aggressive purchasing going in over this. Now, you are going to see this update, I think, on Monday. We know Bitmine, as an example, purchased about 150,000 Ethereum on that collapse, as we know that BlackRock bought about 45,000 Bitcoin. Even though stock markets were closed, BlackRock decided that they were going to buy even more crypto. And I think when we look at strategic Ethereum reserves, this is going to give you a definite positive narrative of where we're going to go. The fact of the matter is right now that ETF reserves sitting around a 6.89 million Ethereum. Just to give you an idea, that's about $28.4 billion. The same absolutely could be seen here at 5.7. Yeah, Griff, are you in the Discord? If you are, you get access to that premium Discord. So let me sort that out for you in just a second. But watch out for some of these, and watch out for opens when it comes to ETFs. You're going to see massive amounts of capital flow into these. As much as people may think they're going to dump, I don't believe that's going to be the case. And you only have to look in terms of transactional volume on the Ethereum chain right now to understand that this is actually a growing chain, as much as people maybe don't necessarily believe it right now. And Ethereum is being driven by some of its layer 2 protocols that are now actually starting to support the layer 1. We haven't really seen this with any of other particular coins, but again, transactions are growing on Ethereum and the price, or the GUI, isn't, which again bodes very, very well for where we're going to get to in the rest of the market. Tide of Crypto also says Ethereum is following a very similar pattern to when it comes to Bitcoin, which would align therefore to the big caps moving out of BTC and into Ethereum. This once again drives the Q4 narrative when it comes to the bull market cycle. So ETH is on the cusp, in my opinion, of a pretty big run, and everything seems to be pointing to the fact that it is going to run pretty heavy. Whether you look at the specifics around the market structure, whether you look at the specifics around institutional buying, or you simply understand what Ethereum is actually trying to build, then I think you start to get into a very good narrative. And don't forget, we actually more recently got the Fusaka upgrade, and the reality is no one really talked about this, but actually it's a pretty decent upgrade when it comes to the whole Ethereum network. Why? Well, it means speed is much quicker. It actually means that we see less risk attached to it, and more importantly, for developers, investors, and blockchain enthusiasts, the upgrade not only was an immediate improvement, but actually is now a bull vision for Ethereum's future. So this wasn't just a one-hit wonder. This actually is going to be a bit more, less like Rick Astley and more a bit like, you know, One Direction, something like that. But again, important to understand that this is going to make it cheap. It also, and if you remember ages and ages and ages ago, we talked about how layer 2s work on Ethereum by blobs and rollups. I don't know if you guys remember that. Blobs obviously is kind of the bit of transactions that fill the gap that Ethereum layer 1s do. This is why Ethereum layer 2s are so important. However, the fact that rollups now, secondary chains based optimism, now are going to work even more efficient, means that you are going to get a layer 2 Ethereum option that should support the Ethereum layer 1. And we don't generally see that. I think the only one that does it is things like ordinals on the Bitcoin exchange. But the fact is that we will see this way more build out. Ethereum layer 1 is going to become way more cheaper and start to actually build out a bit more positive. The transaction costs are going to go down, which I think is a good news story. And therefore, their allowance of the stablecoin market is actually going to accelerate. And I think you're going to see more and more of people using Ethereum for transactions, and more importantly, more kind of the upgrades. The Bukaki upgrade did not go live, by the way, Mike, on Ethereum, but just left FYI. So again, what you've got here, stablecoin market cap right now, albeit down 1.7. That's because we're seeing move into layer 2s, like Base as an example. However, at plus 6% total value locked on DeFi and Ethereum tells you that there is way more opportunities coming, and there's way more to come. When you look at DEX volume, again, Ethereum is now starting to skyrocket. If you are going to launch, in my opinion, a project right now, it looks like a pretty good place to launch it on the general layer 1 Ethereum, and the application fees that are generating over there as well is certainly playing out. So I think, what does it look like? Short-term price action. I think in the next couple of days, we'll see Ethereum retesting the 50-day EMA, which is around 4,300, followed by then a push back to the upside, breaking the original 43.4, which is here, which is the top of the 20-day exponential moving average, and then should see us push to retest these new all-time highs, in line with my opinion, where I think BTC will be breaking back above 120k by the end of this week. Pretty bullish statement, but I think you'll see exactly why and what I mean by that when we get the market opens tomorrow, as I expect a significant amount of capital to flow into this market. So that's Ethereum. If you are interested, I highly recommend checking it out. Don't forget, you can still earn a pretty penny when it comes to Ethereum, staking it with those validators Once again, different to many other chains, all the Ethereum validators are actually voting in the right direction, which is the enhancements and the growth when it comes to the Ethereum layer 1, and Ethereum layer 2s are now starting to actually support the narrative when it comes to crypto as well. So good news. If you ask me, it's all starting to flip bullish for the market. And yeah, I think ETH's going to lead the charge into this Q4 move back to a new all-time high. So drop your comments. Let me know what you think of Ethereum in the chat. And let's get into a little bit more news, a little bit more broader market sentiment, and then we'll get into DeFi and anything you guys want to talk about. So your mic hasn't got a very big echo. What? My mic should be fine. Does that help? Is that something? Your mic has went very echoey, mate. Has that helped? You do not see a dump first before upside Monday morning? No. We had the dump at the weekend. So I think we could get volatility when we open on Monday. Don't get me wrong. Do I think that the Hong Kong Stock Exchange that's going to open in about 3 hours' time is going to just pump the market to oblivion? No, I'm not sure that's going to happen. However, a Sunday move generally does then coincide with Asia coming in. Got to think about it. Asia have kind of gone from, shit, we're not going to be able to do this, to today going, okay, what's the play? And bear in mind, by the way, we've come from a Friday where everyone was kind of super bearish on Donald Trump to, well, Trump himself saying, don't worry about China, it'll all be fine. Highly respected President Xi just had a bad moment. He doesn't want depression for his country, and neither do I. The US wants to help China, not hurt it, President DJT. So you're already sort of starting to get a little bit of a vibe as to Trump can't afford the market to collapse, and certainly the stock market can't afford it to collapse. That doesn't mean, though, market makers aren't going to take the opportunity. You only need to go and look at what's happening. We'll take a look at some of these DEX traders to kind of get a sentiment of what's happening. I actually talked about this in my video that I put out earlier, saying that, yes, all this weekend, you've seen this narrative that I think loads of people are pushing, which is like, I lost everything, I was over leveraged, years of work, gone in seconds. You sort of just push it aside. And what do you actually have? You've just got an appetite and a desire for this market to succeed. Like, it's crazy. And I would ask anyone to sit there and think to themselves, at any point, even though the market collapsed, at any point over the last 40 hours, did you truly believe the market was open? Because I didn't. And I proved that when I was live streaming on Friday, and I was in buying while I was live streaming. I mean, I bought as much as I possibly could on loads of different coins: Ondo, World of It Financial, Asta, Pepe, Bonk. What else did I buy? AVAX. Shit the bed. I just was like, whatever. This is not, by the way, an investment idea or strategy you should take, but whatever capital that was stable coin or some bullshit play I had, I was like, just get into it. I even converted the funds we're using to launch the new token back into Ethereum to ride the push back up, and then I'll convert back into USDT. So even for that, I made about 500 quid just putting it back into Ethereum. So in my opinion, and again, if you haven't watched that video, by the way, and I know loads of you do, but I would definitely go and watch that Bitcoin video I did earlier on today. It does take you through a couple of key elements to understand how this market was complete bullshit, and that so many people fell for it. So many people panic sold. So many people literally were like, oh my God, I need to click fucking sell. And they've all just got absolutely smashed to pieces. What you now find is that those people that want to get back into the market are suddenly coming back into a Bitcoin that they're like, okay, fine, I'm getting back in 114K. Fuck me, that feels cheap. That feels cheap. Well, they may have originally been investors at 90K. Remember this, right? This is a statistic. And it's always good to reflect on where you are in the market, by the way. 99.7% of Bitcoin holders at the point at which I hit all-time high were in profit. Think about it. If you had a business, and I'm not saying that this is like an exchange thing, but if you had a business and every single person that invested in your business made money, you're going to be like, oh, hold on a minute. This doesn't give me any wiggle room whatsoever. You've now got an entire market, in my opinion, like a huge market that believes $114,000 for a Bitcoin is cheap. This tells me that we're going to way new highs. Like, I mean, it's like a crazy reset, but yeah. Mike, I saw the Putin video. It does make sense. Exactly. Like, I mean, it's pretty interesting as well, that kind of thing. But yeah, worthwhile. Ethan Sol, I do like XRP, but not in my top 5. Blue, interesting. I mean, look, I like Ethan Sol. All my Solana still staked. So even while the market was collapsing, I was taking my 7.5% from staking rewards. Vern's in the house. What's going on, buddy? Bought so much Zebek, John. Love it. Love it. I saw stuff by Jasmine Bags. Yeah, and it bounced back. I mean, who could resist Ondo? I think I bought it at 35 cents. You're like, I'm already like a 3x on that. It's crazy. Shit in the bed isn't an investment play. That is true to Mark Peter. It definitely isn't. Definitely isn't at all, actually. Jeff XRP, yeah. Again, Robin and Coinbase did allow buys at the time. The dips, just try wallet buys. That's true. Binance didn't. Have you seen? We'll talk about it in a minute. $283 million in refunds coming out of Binance. You tell me those haven't got You know, they haven't got dog shit on their hands because they have. Bits Blaze in the house. What's going on? Fairgrounds here as well. What's going on, Fairground? Good to see you, man. King Kong says, what do you think will happen tomorrow? I think volatility, but I think upsides move. My opinion. My opinion, I think we've rode. If you've managed to ride the storm, rode the wave, you're still holding your bags, I reckon you're going to be pretty well rewarded. That's just my opinion, not financial advice. It never is on this channel. But don't forget, smash up the like button, by the way. We've got like 120 people here on YouTube. We've got like 75 people here. We're like 200 people live talking all things cryptocurrency. So do me a favor, smash up the like button to find your all-time high and tap the screen as well. I appreciate it. Mike, when you were buying all the crypto, were you just swapping from stablecoin to crypto? Were you trying to purchase something? No, I was just swapping stablecoin. Always have some stablecoin kicking about. Always. You never know when you might need it. Always have some stablecoin. So yeah, I just had some USDT sat there. So I was just swapping all that back. Literally, I swapped everything. Like I've 0 USDT now. And then what I do now is I'll start building little bits of USDT back up again, ready in case something else happens. So yeah. Good. Right. What's up, brother? What's going on, my man? Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Appreciate you guys. Okay. So let's just talk a little bit of news and then we're going to get into your questions and anything else you guys want to talk about. So obviously Donald Trump. Now, what you will have heard as well, if any of you are on crypto Twitter, maybe you're following other accounts on YouTube, etc., etc. You know, there's people that talk absolute nonsense. You will have heard loads of people talking about the fact that the whale is back. The whale that opened up. And look, let's just call a spade a spade. I can't prove it. Let's just call a spade a spade. You are naive to believe that somebody that opened about 13 shorts to the value of about $1.1 billion to gain 192 million in profit did not know that something was going to happen in the market, right? You're naive if you think that's the case, okay? That they just miraculously called a massive short, the biggest liquidation event in history. Nonsense, okay? I was short on the market and I closed my short because no one told me we were going to dump to oblivion. Anyway. Loads of people now are saying, oh, this whale's back, this OG whale's back, it's going to be a disaster, And I actually tweeted this out, by the way. And here it is at the top, by the way. You can see there, look, $255.89 million. You guys can see this on TikTok as well, just because I think it's interesting. This is the wallet that they're all talking about. So this is the alleged brand new wallet that basically walked away with $192 million worth of profit, shorted, or well, arguably the best short in the world. So it's either Nancy Pelosi or someone else. But right now it's 41.19 million. So it's still technically up 150. What you've got, though, is everyone's gone short like a complete set of knobheads, okay? Because everyone's gone, oh, the market's going to dump. The market's going to dump. And everyone's watching this wallet. This is why. This is important, right? This is genuinely important to think about. If you're brand new here, maybe you're new to this crypto market, you've got to understand that so many people want to try and manipulate you. They want to try and get your cryptocurrency. Look at this. BTC is nearly back above 115K, exactly as I said it was going to be at the start of this live stream. These are the types of accounts that want you to follow them blindly and be very much a sheep in this market. Why? Because sheep's easy to take money off. If you ever try and take money from a sheep, dead easy. So this is the wallet everyone's talking about. Everyone's freaking out. It's 41 million. Everyone's going, 41 million. What an absolute loser. It's still $150 million up in the profit. Understand that. If this goes to 100 million, all right, fine. It's lost 100 million. How much is going to get wrecked? How many are short on this market right now? How many are going to absolutely get demolished when BTC hits? Well, I'll tell you exactly how many are going to get demolished because we can see that number. Everybody is short in the market, and I think they are wrong. I think they're so wrong, and it's going to play out the other way. Right now, $400 million in the last 24 hours have been liquidated on shorts. This is just a crypto 101 bull market playbook. Look at this right now. These are currently cumulative shorts building up on here. Now, we're absolutely wrecking some, but if Bitcoin rallies to 115.6, think about where we are right now. It's $600. $600 million worth of shorts are going to get absolutely annihilated, right? And don't believe me? Go and look at what Binance are doing already. They're buying loads of crypto. So again, this is why I think people are going to get it wrong. And I think so many of crypto Twitter are watching these accounts and they're going to get it wrong. Again, some people might, manage to get away with their ass, but I think you're going to see loads of this be a problem. And the reality is it's just a standard bull market cycle. We can talk about it here. Look, TikTok, go check it out. Bull market starts on BTC now reclaims the 50 SMA, which is the simple moving average, and a weekly candle close will confirm here. Well, guess what? Guess what we're going to get a weekly candle close here, by the way, and I can bring this up. You're going to get a weekly candle close here on BTC. Guess what? Above the 20-day EMA and above the long support line that we've had. What does this mean? This means the entire bull market and the entire bull market move is very much intact. And this is the crazy bit. Look at the fucking wick you've got here. Now, hold your horses because I'm about to blow your minds a little bit more here, right? I'm literally about to blow your minds a little bit more. The last time that we had a wick, bear in mind this wick, by the way, is 8%. That means that we saw buying pressure come in from a low of 105. I know it was on the massive liquidation event, but you've got buying pressure up to around 8%. The last time we saw anything like this was down here. We got a 6% move. And what happened? We rallied from the bottom here at 74,000 all the way on the weekly close to a brand new all-time high. Okay, that was the last time we saw it. Don't believe me? Then go back to here. Look at this. We've gone saw another massive wick down here. We came down, retested this line perfectly. 14% move. What happened? We rallied all the way up to a brand new all-time high. So this then leads me to believe here on the weekly candles, Bitcoin's setting up for a brand new all-time high push, and I think it comes within the next 2 weeks. Now, doesn't mean we're not going to have volatility. It doesn't mean that market makers are going to try everything they possibly can to take all your cryptocurrency off you. But when you look at the market structure, and just for a second, ask yourself, after the biggest liquidation event in history, where when you walk through crypto Twitter and everybody right now is losing their fucking mind, Ethereum is up 10.5%. Solana is up 10.5%. Cardano, that everyone laughed at me for, is up nearly 10.5%. BNB up 14% and is printing like you wouldn't believe. Aerodrome's up 18%. That's not all, by the way. Asta, 25%. Told you guys to buy that. Will there be financial? If you bought the dip, grats. I did like a fucking lunatic, so that's played out pretty well. By the way, just DCAing on some of these plays. I got my DCA buying price so freaking low on some of these. It's amazing. No surprise, Zebex pulling back. Not Zebex, sorry, Zcash. But look at these memes as well. Don't believe the meme coin market's coming back. Pepe up 13%. Pengu up 20%. Dogecoin 13%. Brett 16%. Like, what? Honestly, it's absolutely insane. And then when you start to break it down on a more, I guess a more permanent idea, and you look at previous market cycles, particularly when you look at the weeks, for example, you go back here to 2021 where we saw this, you see very similar things. Look at this. The last time we saw a big old shit, which came in at March 2020. Anyone hazard a guess what this was? Anyone at all? Anyone at all want to guess what this was, by the way? It's a little test for you guys. Anyone know what March 2020 was? I've talked about it a couple of times, actually. March 2020, anybody? Anyone at all? Tim Shays put a picture of Caroline Ellison. Exactly, John. Oh, yeah, I realized what you were doing there. Exactly. So this was the pandemic. This was what they deem as the COVID crash. And look what happened. We got a massive wick at the bottom end of this on BTC. Guess how big the wick was? The wick was 26%. That's not messing. What happened then? BTC rallied to its first all-time high in the first peak of 2021. All right. So you can be as bearish as you want. You're on your own if you're on this channel, just my opinion. But I think we're definitely going to see some further moves here on the weekly candles. So keep your eyes peeled on that. Then you start to look and say, well, okay, what's the narrative that's going to push us a little bit further? Bitmine, like we said, buying 128,718 Ethereum. This obviously should give you some confidence that, well, those altcoins are starting to move and they're starting to move big. And Coinbase upcoming base token isn't just another airdrop, it's a shareholder strategy in disguise. What a surprise. You also got a significant amount of funding going into ETFs as well. So base developer Jesse Polak, not our own Jesse, unfortunately, open to submissions for proposals shaping the design of the upcoming base token, but the airdrop isn't about trades or liquidity. Important to think about. This also plays out way more favorably when you start to look into Robert Kiyosaki, who is obviously the founder and CEO of Bitmine, who is macro crazy bullish still on the market, by the way. And he advocated for investors to pivot towards real assets, particularly silver and Ethereum. We need to watch the silver chart a little bit to see where that goes. But again, industrial utility, important to think about that. And finally, Coinbase and traders on Binance. Well, they all, in my opinion, have blood on their hands, and that's why they're trying to pay off people and silence them. Binance, $283 million. Expect an announcement, in my opinion, coming out of Coinbase over the next 24 to 48 hours, basically saying that they couldn't allow traders to trade. And like I said, if you're unsure, Binance will be issuing refunds to loads of those customers that got wrecked on their platform. Pretty interesting. Now, ask yourself this. You're telling me that the cryptocurrency exchange, the biggest in the world, that was during the biggest liquidation event, couldn't allow people to trade, and all of a sudden gone, all right, fine, we'll pay out $283 million in incurred losses. Like, shut the hell up. Get out of here, Binance, you massive set of choppers. But worthwhile thinking about as all that plays through, as Bitcoin rallies probably back above $115,000. Okay, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. So again, that takes us through the news. That takes us through the charts. BTC now 115. Told you it was going to do this. I literally told you to do this. If you're not bullish enough, hit the like button if you could. We've got 150 people in the live stream right now. So shout out to everybody tuning in. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. We appreciate you tuning in to a absolute non-bullshit channel that's just going to talk you through what's going on. And you know what? We've been pretty much freaking right this whole time of this kind of crazy stuff. So I'll take any questions. You got any thoughts, opinions, views, whatever it is, drop them in the chat. We'll get them. And yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about what the hell is going on. And more importantly, what we think is coming this week. So yeah. You'll have to let me know, Jesse, when I get millions this pump. Let's get it. Jesse says, Curtis, I still have it. Don't know what it means, but I've been buying BC 3 weeks, got nearly $50 worth. Nice, mouse. I like it. I saw a funny meme. It was like, this man became a multi-millionaire. And it was like, how'd you do it? And it was like, my dad gave me 10 million and I went short on the market. Oh dear. Binance giving back 200 million because they made billions. 100%. 100%. I think the number was about 600 million they made. About 600 million. Craig, I'm going to buy Big O at the end of this cycle. It's going on mouse. 2-bit ETH prediction by the end of October. Matt, great question. I will give you my honest opinion. And I think, given market structure we have on Ethereum right now and the fact we are on, what, the 12th, so 2 weeks, I think ETH will be about 52.50. That's my opinion. I think we'll see a brand new all-time high on Ethereum within the next 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks takes us to the 28th, and I think that sets us up for possibly a nice little move into September. By the way, Ethereum, by the way, BTC FY 115,300. Like, come on, bros. Shut up. Oh my God. You gotta love it in this market. I reckon the amount of viewers goes up when Holmes isn't here. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Vipin, what's going on, pal? Welcome in. Opinion about Sui and Aptos. I'm less asked about Aptos. Sui, bullish. Bought more Sui on the dip. How could you resist it? Ended up at like 165. Like, it's an insane bit. I think Sui will be a big runner. I think you're going to see some good layer ones, some good layer twos all start to move as well. Don't forget, we have now got seeded ETFs. Institutions got their opportunity to buy in. I think we'll see ETFs launch within the next 2 weeks. I'm telling you now. And even when you look at Trump and how he's positioning the US government, by the way, we're going to pay the troops because it's the right thing to do. They're going to get this government open whether they like it or not. And I think that's when you'll start to see some of this stuff play out. And I think you see ETFs, the list of ETFs, I think you start to see them within 2 weeks, definitely. Definitely. So ironic, I can't get funds from my legacy to buy these low price in XRP. We'll put this slow transaction movement to an end. Legacy MM. I'm assuming you mean market maker, but Crypto Princess, what's going on? Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in. This drop aside, at what point do we give up on a coin and move on? I've got about 6 dogs. Help me out. I don't know what you mean. If you are, it depends what you look at, okay? There's 2 ways to play the markets. I think personally, money market, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. Some of them got like wrecked. But the reality is that you have to make a decision based on what you've got. If you are in like Ars Krakenu and the devs of that project are like, hey, don't worry, we're going to go to $10 billion. And you're like, this is not moving anyway. Just get the hell out of there. If you're in something like a layer 1, let's say you're in BNB, for example. Do you think BNB is going to break 2,000 this bull market? I reckon so. You kind of have to ride it out. I would always, you're in 6 dog coins. I mean, if you're in like 6 dog coins, you need to watch my video that talks about how to strategize your portfolio, which is on YouTube, by the way. Definitely going to check that out. 6 coins that are massively down from when I bought them, bag holders. Tell me the coins and I'll give you my opinion. Not answers, it's not financial advice. We don't do that on this channel, but if you tell me the coins, I'll give you my opinion. XRP thoughts, super bullish. If you haven't seen my XRP video today, go watch it. That is pretty crazy when you look at what's going on with it. Expect 21 ETFs within the next 2 weeks. That's all I'll say to that. How did you know it was going up? How did you know the market was going to go up? Because this was the most manipulated event in the history of crypto. I'd even go as far as to say the most manipulated event outside of the Great Short that was orchestrated, deliberate, and was a theater show. And if you aren't, I actually rewatched the live stream from Friday night, and as much as you could kind of sense it was like, this is like the craziest thing in the world, you listen to what we were all talking about, you listen to my reaction, it almost feels fake. Like even the live stream just felt weird. So I was kind of thinking about when I came off the stream and I was like, this is just nonsense. This is nonsense. I just don't believe it. And then obviously I researched it over the course of the last couple of days. So I put those videos out where you look at interest rates, you look at capital flow, you look at what people did on this dip. Like people didn't just panic. Think about it. The Big Short, right? If you haven't seen that film, really, really interesting. Big Short. When mortgages started to collapse, everyone freaked out. Everyone was selling mortgages. People were getting their houses. Like the whole fucking sector just collapsed. This was like retail absolutely soiled itself and institutions laughed and bought. And even though you went on to like crypto Twitter and loads of people like super freaked out, really the only stories you heard was I was over leveraged. I even saw people that were like, I had my entire life savings. It was like $135,000 and they were on a 2x long on Sui or something like that. And it got liquidated. I think was it Algorand or no, what was it? Atom. Think about this. Atom and Pump Fund, by the way. They had liquidation events at 205. They got liquidated. This just tells you that this was an entire market reset. So it's almost like it can't really go any lower. And then when I always talk about this in the live streams, by the way, does a coin feel expensive? Did Bitcoin feel expensive at $125,000? Probably. Does Bitcoin feel expensive now at $115,000? I don't think it does. People tasted what $125,000 looks like. This means that people come back in. Look at the Bitcoin. Look at it now. We're up 4.5%. Think about this. 4.5% on a fucking Sunday. Like, it doesn't make any sense. ETH at 11%, BNB at 14%, Algorand 13%. Like, man, it's a crazy day in the markets. But this is kind of where I got to, where I was like, yeah, this is just nonsense. It's going to go back up. That's my opinion. Who panicked? Fairground didn't panic. Do you think gold is going to shoot down when market opens again? No, I don't think gold will. Why will gold shoot down? Gold's like where everyone's moving to. I bought more. Ryan, great choice. MC says Myria, Mantra, Myro, Supra. Yeah, they are terrible picks, by the way. I mean, I don't want to shit on anyone's bonfire, but like why? I don't even know half of those are. Myria, Manta, Myro, Supra. Oh, I heard Supra. Yeah, Supra was the worst call ever in the world, actually. I don't know what the last two are, but I mean, if Myro is that Solana meme coin, no chance. That's not going anywhere. Supra, I think, was good for an airdrop. If I remember rightly, I believe people farm that for an airdrop. Myria and Manta, yeah, I don't know too much. I'm sorry if that absolutely shits on your bonfire. I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, I would certainly be leaving some of those positions pretty quickly, in fairness. It's crazy. Yeah, it's definitely that. Been investing in crypto since July and still haven't seen no props. Since July. I found it hilarious and I got liquidated. Yeah, I love getting liquidated as well. Maybe leveraging needs to be stopped. Well, you're never going to stop people leverage trading. I think the argument here is, right? I mean, it might do, Obajo. The argument here is that you should leverage trade with a proportion of your portfolio. So when someone says, oh, I went all in, and I'm really hot, by the way. I went all in, my entire life savings, and I'm liquidating. It's like, you went all in, leverage. Like, are you out of your fucking minds? Like, what? Like, who the hell does that? That's like saying to somebody, hey, mate, here's my entire life savings. Don't run off with it, though. I'm going to be really mad if you run off with it. Here's 100 grand. Don't run off with my life savings. And it's like some shady guy around the corner. And then they're like, oh, I ran off with it. Like, what the hell? MC, look, my advice, join the Discord. We talk about coins in there. Join this live stream every night. We talk about coins. I'm way more and then happy to look at some of these coins. My advice, go and have a look at some blue chip coins. Go and have a look at something like AVAX. I think is undervalued. It's at 23 cents, by the way. I think that's dead cheap. Ondo Finance. Get yourself into a couple of blue chips that are going to do very, very well. I think try and reapportion some of your portfolio. It feels like you're in a lot of risk assets there, and maybe you're clinging on to stuff that would hope. Now, you know, if they've got something kind of crazy being built in the back end of it, you also have to be mindful with some DeFi players, then fine, but it doesn't feel like they have. But again, I'm not too close to it. I'm all into nice run, Forest. I have a bag of Dash from years ago. Surprised to see any move. Well, Dash might run because you've got Zcash running, but I wouldn't hold your breath. Don't forget Zcash all time high. By the way, it's 5,500. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Just broke 115. Yeah, BTC's at 115 too. Up nearly 4% on the day, which is kind of crazy. The exchange is all locking up, just makes it 100x worse. 100%. 100%. That's why leverage trading, that's why perp decks will do very well, by the way. I think, anyway. That's why perp decks will do well. Please, everyone, I had put orders to buy XRP, another one on HBAR. They cancelled my orders and kept my ETH gas fees, total of 700 lost. Wow, what exchange was that? Oh, I was telling shit, name them, shame the exchange. No leverage, no problem. Spot comes back. Yeah, I mean, Tom, you're absolutely right. That's where I'm at right now as well. Like, spot bags, love it. Like, you can definitely leverage trade if you want with a proportion of your portfolio, but should be an entirely separate thing. And always, if you are going to leverage trade, do it on isolated, do it on a separate exchange if you've got any crypto on there. Because what you don't want is getting absolutely fucked for everything. You just got to be sensible. Wait for the big push this week. Yeah, I think so, Fairground. We've got some pretty interesting stuff coming this week. We've got a lot of data that's going to drop. albeit how accurate some of this data is, we're not going to be too sure. But don't forget, nothing tomorrow. Some of them Fed. Waller's going to be interesting on Tuesday, as is Bowman. They both speak on Tuesday. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, by the way. Bostic, Mirren, Waller all speak on Wednesday. Then, we're into CPI data, going to be breaking down Thursday. Don't worry about that. I'm going to have you covered. Thursday night, we'll talk all about that. You've also got Jerome Powell speaking. You've got all of the kind of top Fed members are going to be speaking. You also got loads of stuff coming in. Interestingly, by the way, we actually do have a little bit of forecasts on PPI, which could be interesting. 0.5 is the forecast. Consensus, though, is 0.3. People are expecting this to come in fucking great, which would be pretty interesting, by the way. So we'll see kind of how that plays out. 2.9 is a consensus forecast on core PPI as well. So, yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. It could be spicy, though. It could be spicy, if you ask me. Let's hope for a good day, a good week, sorry, when it comes to some of this stuff. But yeah, I think we can certainly start to potentially see some movement for sure. What is your strategy for BTC? What do you mean? Calamari says XRP ETF is due Friday, but depends on the shutdown. Yeah, I think it totally depends on the shutdown. What do you think of Gala Coin? I think it's terrible. I think they really dropped the ball. On Gala Coin, by the way, just FYI, they were literally heading to the end zone. They were about to score a touchdown that would have won them every single NFL Cup in the history of NFLs, and every player was going to become the top 11 players in history, and they fucking fumbled the bag when they did that weird bullshit nonsense of like converting their coin, all the rest of it. Killed the project. Killed it, if you ask me. So, yeah, I actually was an investor in Gala. Not anymore. Not anymore. SYND syntax, please. Just been listed on Coinbase. Amazing use case. Design your own blockchain. Nice. Yeah, we'll take a look at that in the DeFi section in about 2 minutes. Jeremy says, 2-bit, what do you think of Lung? I think that it is not going anywhere. And as much as that is painful to say, there's too much nonsense over there. And even you've even got like influencers and you've got team members just fighting. It's like a kid's playground. That's why I still hold a little bit of Lunk. I don't hold a lot of it, but I still hold a little bit staked over there. But the reason I moved away from it was literally like fighting kids at school. And I thought, you know what? I can't be bothered with this. Do it, Maiden. Go somewhere else. I'm holding some proper crap, just holding on, hoping to get my money back. Mouse, I know you're feeling, brother. I know that feeling. Isolated on a separate wallet. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I bought XRP at 135, then took my gas fees. That is... What exchange was it? Oh, my Tangam wallet. It's annoying. That Tangam wallet will have ran through something, though, whether it was like 1 inch or whether it's through some sort of trade. Tangam wallet itself will have a swap function in it. So you want to check that. I saw my Gala a loss on Friday. Fed up looking at the loss. Yeah, I mean, I got out of it ages ago. I just couldn't be... The minute they screwed that swap over, I mean, I was fortunate there. I was on the exchange with it, but I think got my money used to buy the coins. Took almost a day and a half to get it back. It's crazy. That is crazy, in fairness. Haven't seen no pros on this crypto if I don't work out by the new year. What do you mean by what? I haven't seen no pros on this. As in, you haven't seen any positives when it comes to the crypto market. Do you mean that? What should I buy if I'm just buying and holding for future Bitcoin? Fairground says we sold our lung. Hey, bro, what do you think of Pinlink? I think I've heard about it, but I don't have much to say. I'll look at it in a minute when we get to the DeFi bit. What? Okay, yeah, we said that, didn't we? Yeah. I mean, really, you haven't seen any upside moves to... I mean, look, as a someone who's maybe new to the market, the last 40 hours have been pretty tasty. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, just for example, if you bought yesterday, you are up 11% if you bought Solana. You can get that in a savings account. Again, it's not for everybody. The crypto market is not for everybody. Sometimes I invested back in 2017 and I did it for about 8 months and I was like, man, this whole space is like a joke. I need to get the hell out of here. So, yeah. And how wrong I was. I should have stuck around. And, you know, my opinion, by the way, just do loads of research. And then you'll either get to a point where you either think it's worthwhile or you won't. The only thing I would always say is that if you have come into this market in the world of, right, I've got $500 and I want to walk away with 10 million this cycle, I pretty much guarantee you'll lose that money because you'll make some bad decisions. Just see the market stay the same for the past 4 months. I mean, you don't take this the wrong way, by the way. I don't mean it to be rude, by the way, but that's just not true. Well, I mean, actually, no, do you know what? Depending on when you got in the market, I could see that. But you've equally seen us hit $126,000 in a brand new all-time high. Like, depends when you got in, I guess. Oh my God, you guys are super chatty. There's loads of questions here that I've just totally missed them. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that, TikTok. Yeah, I could see that. But then you argue and you look at it and you say, we're in a very nice upward trend. Look at this. This is the monthly chart on BTC, by the way. And this is just telling us that we're going way higher. I expect a bounce here on the monthly. That's what I think anyway. But like I said, this market's not for everyone. This market can humble people very, very quickly if you are not used to it. I'm seriously the only one who thought buying on the dip was doing the right thing and lost money. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know what Tangam Wallet's about. I mean, I bought on the dip and didn't lose anything. Could be someone else said the same about Tangam. I wonder what does it? It must be running through a swap protocol though. Tangam Wallet won't have a swap function in it. It'll run it through something. I bet it runs through 1 inch or something. I don't know off the top of my head, but I bet it runs through like 1 inch or someone else. It'll run through something else. I don't believe they've got because that would mean that if they have their own built-in swap, they'd have to have their own liquidity pools, and I don't think that they do. That's just my opinion, by the way. If Trump doesn't announce something positive before the morning, we're dumping. Trump already has coffee. Have you not seen? He announced that like it's all a big mistake with China, and that he cocked up a little bit. Like it's crazy. Where's the post about Trump about China? Can't find it. It's on. Just go onto X and type Trump or something like that. In my opinion, and he literally announced that it's like it's just been a big mistake. Like what? On Friday we dumped to oblivion, and then like today he's like, oh yeah, President G's all right. Like come on, like don't mess it. Tom, welcome to becoming a channel member, you absolute massive legend. If you are in our Discord, by the way, you've now got access to our free premium Discord service, all of our latest coin drops, and equally all our trade setups. The Sunday report will be coming out a bit later on for this week. I just need to know what your Discord name is. If you are in our Discord, if you're not, then links in the description. Get in there. It's worth it. But let me know if you do have one. But yeah, just go on to there and you'll see it. Well, really, S&P is going to be... Well, yeah, I mean, the S&P, by the way, just to give you an idea of pre-markets, looks bad. Does look bad, actually, but I don't think it will be because you've got a lot coming out of the weekend. But NASDAQ futures look like they're going to open about 800 points down. Russell looks like it's going to be about 70 points down. The S&P looks like it's going to open at 185. By the way, that was 500 points, by the way, which is pretty crazy if you think about that. And yeah, the Dow looks like it's going to open about 900 points down. Tom, well, Holmes, he's just someone who likes this content and he's come to the channel and he wants to be part of this community. Welcome. Good way of making him feel welcome, Holmes. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Oh, dear. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I'm kidding. I didn't swap on Tangam because there was change. Yeah, I'd be really curious to know what the swap or who the swap was. Who the swap was. For sure. Right, my Tangam wallet history states my HBAR exchanges were by Changelly and Simple Swap. There you go. So what you've got is Tangam routing through another swap, which is a bit ridiculous, really, to be honest. And that's why it happens. So what happens is Tangam want to take a fee. Changelly will take a fee. You then aggregating your swap as well. So yeah, you just gotta be careful with stuff like that because ultimately you're gonna get kind of ruined. You're gonna get ruined. My thought came to fruition. Viva the bacon, you massive legend. You massive legend. Sitecoin says, why did the markets pump today? Because Trump said it was all a big mistake with President G. He was like, might have got it wrong, boys. Might have got it wrong. Oh my God. Anyway, right, let's take a look at what's going on in the world of DeFi and see what's happening here. XRPZ's in the building. What's going on, XRPZ? Welcome in. By the way, if you want to become a channel member like Tom, thanks, Tom. I appreciate that, my man. Then head to the description, grab yourself a channel membership. If you are in our Discord as well, that unlocks the ability to look at our premium service where we talk about latest coin launches. We give you a little bit of alpha. We also do our Sunday report and full trade setup. So if you are interested in that, we also have a bot in there that you can use to analyze charts, look at potential TA, give you some price action. All of that's available within our premium Discord. You can subscribe here on TikTok, or you can grab a channel membership as well. And your name goes green. You get some cool ass little coins after your name as well. So it's worth it just for that, in my opinion. But yeah, worth in that. in my opinion, which is good news. Our previous calls, by the way, we actually had a 33x in there. We had a 8x in there, and there's probably going to be another one coming as well. Maybe later on tonight. Pretty high risk, but again, look out for it. I think there's going to be some momentum to go in that one as well. What are your thoughts on alts over the next few weeks? I think alts will do okay. I think you'll see a rally on BTC, though. That's my opinion. Just my opinion. And then I think alts will move again after that. Thanks for the heart, mate. Appreciate it. Wrecked incoming. Calamari, you know it is, baby. Sooner than you freaking think. If you are interested, by the way, check out wreckrabbit.com. Don't miss on that one. Don't miss on that one. People following Levi all got hammered. Oh, really? Interesting. Interesting. Right. What did you want me to look at? Media digitization solutions? I can't remember. SYND. That was it. SYND. Syndicate. Man, it's up 22%. Holy crap. Did we look at this on Friday? I mean, it's up 22%. It's down badly, though. That chart looks awful, by the way. I don't know if that's a... Oh, this is not the right chart. Hold on a minute. This looks like it's a bit of a weird one. This one might be better. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I mean, it's on the move from the low. Why is it dipped like this? Is it a pre-sale? Might have been a pre-sale. I don't know. I don't know. He turns up late and insults Craig's bringing the hammer down. You're like a cuddle when you went. Well, that's it. It's all about some free cuddles by there. Ethereum with the insane shot up to. Yeah, I mean, I talked about Ethereum right at the very start of the stream, actually. As we do right now, on every stream, we're going to be breaking down some of the coins. If you want to get a coin talked about, make sure you let me know in the Discord and we'll pick it up. I think tomorrow night, we'll see how the market plays out, but I'm feeling some sort of L2s maybe we might talk about tomorrow night. I think it could be appropriate. Aerodrome Finance, Velodrome Finance, maybe Matic, although loads of you have asked me about it, but I just think it's a bit naff at the minute, personally. Don't worry about Levi's followers. He said XRP's got a 10K. There you go. It's fine. So we're doing a call. I'm cool either way. Either way. It's just somebody make a decision. So Tim, I know you were in there last week. I jumped in as well. So just someone make a decision. And I'll do it either way. Hydrobits, what are your thoughts on the retake TV? What the hell is retake TV? I don't even know what it is. What is retake TV? Trump's announced to cut the tariffs. I don't think he's announced to cut the tariffs. He said that him and Xi may be overreacted, or I think President Xi has overreacted. Personally, I mean, what's also interesting, by the way, and it would be wrong of me to specifically call out this individual, but it's interesting, isn't it, how people are now bullish in capital letters on this market. Isn't it crazy? I think it's crazy, by the way, that people were super bearish right now and they look for an opportunity to change the entire direction. So the biggest liquidation event in history has now made you go bullish on the market. Okay, we believe you. We believe you, in my opinion. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, look, we got an announcement here. This was the Trump announcement, by the way. Don't worry about China. It will all be fine. Highly respected President Xi just had a bad moment. He doesn't want depression for his country, and neither do I. The USA wants to help China, not hurt it. So you're probably going to see Trump either delay those tariffs or remove those tariffs, which I think will be good. So yeah. Just my opinion. Vern, can you get rid of that comment? How do I get rid of it? I can never understand how I get rid of this stuff. Anyone know? Is it like the mute? Is that it? There we go. I think. Go back XRP now away. I mean, it's kind of on discount. You got to ask yourself. I mean, the best time to buy XRP, by the way, was Friday, but still 258. I mean, it's a decent price, by the way. It is a decent price, but you could have got it at 77 cents, which is freaking crazy. Crazy, if you ask me. It's gone perfect. Why are we recovering this afternoon 2-bit? Because Trump's basically completely gone back on what he said and says that actually President Xi had a bad moment. Well, or he did. One of them did. Someone did. So yeah, we're going back up. Sunday pump. The craziest bit about this Sunday pump, by the way, is that this isn't institutional driven. This is retail driven. So retail's decided to go back into the market, which is, again, if you watch my video that I put out on YouTube, it's exactly what I said was going to happen. The difference is now people look at Bitcoin at 114.5, 115 and go, it's cheap. I'm getting a discount. Whereas at 125, people were like, oh, we might be at the top. There might be a... Maybe that's after Barron made it. Yeah, Barron Trump paid off the US debt. But this is kind of what I've talked about this whole market cycle. This is what I've been talking about for ages. Do you believe that the price of BTC is expensive? That's the reality of it. And 125K, people thought it was expensive. What better way to make people feel like it's not? Liquidate the market, take everyone's coins away from them, dump the price to 110, 111. All of a sudden, people are going to go, you know, and the minute you start to see the market push back up, people are going to FOMO the crap out of this. I bet we do $1 billion in ETF inflows this week. I'll tell you that now. Just my opinion. Who made the big short 30 minutes before Trump? Well, that's the big question, isn't it, Catch? That is the big question. $192 million profit. They are long right now. Sorry, they are short right now on... they are actually short on the market, which, again, I said this before, they may end up getting wrecked on it. And who cares? I think they are setting up to wreck even more people. Like, I think it's crazy. And I think people are going to watch them. Because people are just cheap sometimes. That's why people should be subscribed to this channel. And also hitting that like button because it does massively help out. But yeah, right now you've got loads of big trades. Look at this. $41 million in the hole. Bear in mind, you've got to take this in context though. It's still 150 million. 64 million in the hole right now on a BTC and a ETH short. So this account is like super short right now and it's getting absolutely mullered. And look, you might see this push back in the market. We're liquidating the shorts as we go up. That's why, that's why it's really important that if you leverage, you only leverage with a small proportion of your portfolio, not your entire thing. If you got liquidated for your entire portfolio, I have no sympathy for you, unfortunately. No sympathy whatsoever. Greed will always lose to education and balance. Fact of the matter is, I'd rather just take it easy. Maybe I don't make $100,000 on a move. Maybe I don't. But you know what? Longer term, probably going to be okay. Just my opinion. Is it really dangerous to just hop into crypto? Yes, 100%. Well, it's not dangerous, but it depends what your risk versus reward appetite is. If you're like, okay, I have a portfolio of $10,000 and I want to invest a proportion of that into the crypto market, go and understand what you're investing in. Don't just watch someone on YouTube or TikTok go, I think that this coin is going to be the best coin in the world. And people just go and ape their life savings into it. No. You got to understand what you're investing in. And people that blindly invest in this market get wrecked. Simple as that. But if you're like, okay, you've still got time, it's running out, we've still got time, then join this live stream, jump in my Discord, it's free, loads of people in there, we live stream every single day, understand it, put a little bit of money in, see what you feel, take $100, put $100 into a coin, pick a top 10 coin, don't pick USDT because there's no point, by the way. I bought XRP yesterday, still learning, a long way to go. Oh, OBZen, look, if you're in the market, I'd rather be in it than not. I think that's the other way of doing it. Don't remortgage your house. Don't sell your kids. Don't do anything weird like that. Just a portion of a part of your portfolio into the market. My advice, if you're brand new to the crypto market, what I think is really good is I would go and buy something like Aerodrome Finance, or I'd go and buy something like Solana, and I would stake Solana to understand the power of what this digital market's all about. If you are traditionally an investor of, say, ISAs or traditional bank accounts, all that kind of stuff, right? Then this is where I think the crypto market is. For context, I literally sold everything. I don't have any stocks. I don't have any shares. I don't even have... I have a bank account, but there's no money in it. I am 95% of my entire net worth portfolio is in cryptocurrency. Might be a crazy person, but it worked all right for the Dogecoin guy. You get my point. It makes you wonder whether this account is an international account to put money in. Yeah, it could be Binance. Who the hell knows? Like, we're never going to know. That's the difference. Yeah, Tim, I saw that project actually. I saw that. I need to get it, mate. Everyone's gonna get wrecked soon, but in a good way. Selling the kid. I know, John. I'm sorry. Just balance what you do with the traditional assets. 100%. 100%. Not yet, Curtis, but I'd say you are within 10 days of it being out. Just FYI. So I would be ready. And I would definitely be in the Telegram as well if you're not. Check out wreckrabbit.com. Get in the Telegram. Buy Crone ETH. There you go. Fairground's all about it. Chris Moore says, I did check the liquidity map earlier and there's nothing there at all. Yeah, everything's got wiped out. ICP has a sad chart. Yeah, people keep asking me about ICP and I said I just couldn't see it coming back. It rallied to $13.50 in a bear market. It's like, what the hell is it going to do in a bull market to kind of come back? Nothing. But arbitrary, really. Where do you think XRP will be in a year's time? I'm hoping for double figures. I'd like to think XRP at double figures by the end of this year, personally, but whether we'll get there or not, a lot has to happen, I think. What are you expecting to happen next week after this weekend? I think we'll see a good week. I think we'll see a new Bitcoin all-time high within 2 weeks. That's my opinion. And I think tomorrow will be an indication of that. If we get, so we get Hong Kong Stock Exchange open in like 3 hours time, that could be good news for the market. We'll have to wait and see. I think we then get European markets open, which I think will probably see a little bit of volatility. I don't necessarily think it's going to be crazy. The big question is, what do the US markets do? What's going to happen with the stock market? Because we could see the stock market dump, but something tells me that we might get a little bit more out of Trump yet before the stock market opens. He can't risk the stock market dropping 800 points on the S&P 500. 184 points on the S&P 500. Dow down 900 would be pretty painful. So I think we have to see. The VIX, I don't know what the VIX indication as well is. We could maybe have a look at that. Oh, the VIX here. So the VIX is allegedly going to go up. So again, this is a good indicator, by the way. So the VIX is going to go up at 31 points. That means that you're going to get some real volatility in the S&P 500. So watch out for that. We obviously have a pretty big close on that. So you are going to see the S&P dump, which you look at kind of this. So this is where we ended up on Friday, closing way down, 6,500. So you may see the S&P. I mean, if they're closed tomorrow. US market's closed tomorrow. Sorry, Tuesday. If you see the S&P spike on Tuesday, then maybe Bitcoin could go pretty tasty, actually. We'll have to see. My AVAX bag is now 6,600. Nice, Chris. More like it. Oh, mate, you must have got some bargains on AVAX. I mean, it was like $19. At 22.9 right now. I know Calamari messaged me, I think it was. And he was like, yeah, bought some AVAX, bro. I'm proud of you. Pengo over 2 mil. Yeah, Pengo's crazy. Pengo's going crazy right now. It's like 20%. Yeah, 20.8. Pretty tasty. Pretty tasty. I mean, Bitcoin's looking okay. It's probably going to lose 115, but I think we'll see that rally back again. Yeah, US markets are closed tomorrow, aren't they? I think. Viva, do you think we'll see anything out of Flare this round? I mean, look, their TVL's like 400k right now on those FXRP. So another one that I think is good. Snack. I love the fact that Stardog's super bullish on Snack. River says crypto is like the crazy ex-girlfriend. Yeah, I know, it's wild, isn't it? Yeah, I think Flare could do very well. I think that once that TVL starts to get to 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, I think people will take note of it. But yeah, I do like Flare. Have a look at Solanians CTO, I believe, with current narrative, it's going to fly. Okay, let's take a look at that. Solanians is actually the name of it. Is that actually the name of it? Yeah, Solanians. Yeah, there. A BTC 150k by the end of the year now. Yeah, I think so, Chris Moore. I think we could see that move even a bit quicker. Solanians. Solani. How do you spell it? Is it like that? IANS. Oh, there we are. Solanians. Oh, look at this. It says 60k market cap. What are you talking about, bro? Come on. Get out of here. It's done 11k in volume. It's got 1,000 holders. And it looks so manipulated. Are you winding me up? You must be winding me up right now. That looks like the most manipulated volume chart I've ever seen in my entire life. Look at the wicks on there. Holy shit. What is that? Yeah. Don't know if that's for me. I mean, look, I wish you all the best if you're in that project right now, but that has got some crazy volume bot on it. Look at these wicks. It's insane right now. Anyway, I hope the market dumps a little bit so I can recoup some losses. Shut up, Alvin. Sam Ross, I probably won't check the TG, no. I will take your word for it, though. All I'm saying is that's when I look at the chart right now, that's got some crazy-ass volume bot running on it. Just my opinion. I'm not saying it's going to do very well, but it's a 60k market cap with a volume bot on it. That's probably not great, if I'm honest. I don't want to like shit on your chips or anything like that, but look, I've seen coins go crazy. 60k, great opportunity to get in for sure, but yeah, it needs to find probably a little bit more organic growth, if I'm honest. I don't know what the distribution of holders looks like, by the way, but looks like you've had some insiders selling as well, just FYI. You had 8k sold, 6k sold, a couple of insiders here that didn't buy anything but have sold it. I mean, it could be protocol driven, but yeah, that's just my opinion on it. Did you say just TG or will be? It'll be in the alpha group as well. Yeah. Thoughts on Shiba? I mean, outside of the fact that it's an OG coin, it's probably going to do okay. I mean, it's way below where it should be, and I think it will be outpaced by a number of new coins, Pengu, Pepe, Bonk. I think we'll all do way better than Shiba Inu. But again, you can't fault it. It's got a pretty big team behind it, pretty big community behind it. But I think at the minute, I think I'm fair in saying no one cares. It says stock markets are open, bond markets are closed. Oh, are they? Are you guys all tripping out right now? The USA stock markets open Monday. Yeah, it says they're open, by the way. Thanksgiving is the next one. Like, yeah, it says they're open. You guys all tripping out. Why do you think the markets are open, not open tomorrow? Holidays and trading times. I mean, it looks like the markets are open. Is Quant a good buy? If you want something that I think is just going to grind its way up, then yeah. I mean, like literally grind its way up. But I mean, I don't get me wrong. I don't mind Quant. I don't own any, by the way. But I think you'll just see it. It'll just grind its way up. Columbus Day. What the hell is Columbus Day? You guys winding me up. Stock market holiday. US market open or close on Monday for Columbus Day. Here you go. Look, what does it say? Stock market holiday. The benchmark indices in the US stock market will remain open on Monday the 13th, even though the indigenous people of the benchmark indices on the US stock market will stay open. According to the holidays, Nasdaq Stock Exchange and New York Stock Exchange will reopen normally after the first weekend of October, with the next market holiday. So stock markets are open, yeah. Stock markets are open, baby. Do you think BTC will go down again? I mean, yes, but I don't think you're not gonna get anything like you saw on Friday again. I don't think so. Columbus Day is celebrated as a holiday in the US to commemorate the landing of Christopher Columbus. I mean, you guys will celebrate anything in the US, won't you? Like literally celebrate anything. I love it. I love it. Yeah, we're going to celebrate today. This is a national holiday. Oh, what are you celebrating? Well, this is the time that, German Shepherds came to the US and we put them in the police force. So we're going to celebrate those today. It's German Shepherd Day. All right, cool. Great. Do you think XRP could go down tomorrow? I mean, anything could go down tomorrow. That's the honest answer. If your question is, do I think XRP is going to dump to like $2 again? No, I don't think that's going to happen again. I mean, right now we're rallying. Right now we're seeing some optimism in the market. I think that, I mean, look, when it comes to XRP, you're looking at 264. A break above 264 with volume support would probably look pretty good, actually. I do think we need to break that, though. I do definitely think we need to break 264 right now. It's a little bit bearish on XRP. Doesn't mean it's not going to go up for the market, but I do need to see it just push a little bit further. Can you tell me about Sui? Yeah, what do you want to know? I like Sui. Good ecosystem. Meme markets built over there as well. Lots of stuff coming. I bought Sui. I bought 272. So actually, right now you can pretty much get the same price that I bought in. Oh, it's slightly more expensive, but yeah, I like Sui. I think it's good. Is World Limit Financial good to buy? Now, if you haven't already gone to my YouTube channel and watched 1,000 coins to have this bull market, World Limit Financial is on that list. I personally, just me personally, I'm an investor in World Limit Financial. I bought more on Friday. I absolutely think World Limit Financial will definitely, in my opinion, not financial advice, do very well this cycle. I'm going to give you a price target. But if you go watch that video, there's some price targets in there. But I actually think it'll do pretty well. My personal opinion. XRP will push? Yeah, I think so. Fairground. What do you think about Solana future? As in, what do I think about Solana's future? Or is that some sort of meme coin player? I know that sounds like crazy, but I just want to make sure. If the question is, what do I think Solana's going to do and do I think it's going to be worthwhile? The answer is yes. I think Solana's going to be a monster this bull market cycle, which is why it's my third biggest holding. I think it's going to do very well. Future Solana, I think it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be a very good ecosystem. I think you're going to see their stablecoin market is booming. They're offering 7.5% yield. Once ETFs come in with staking, it's going to be absolutely like over when it comes to Solana. I think it's going to be a great coin to hold, and I do hold. And it's actually one of the coins don't forget. I bought Solana at $8, and I was begging people to buy Solana at $8. Like every time it dipped below 10, I was like, buy some more Solana, quick, buy it. So I DCA up on Solana because I bought $8, but I bought more Solana since into the bull market cycle. What value XRP would make you sell? I have a target of $10, but I'm struggling to see us hitting that. So I'm not weird about any of this stuff. I'll sell as it goes up. So I bought it at 35, 40 cents. If XRP hits $5, I'm going to sell some. If it's $8, I'll sell some. Like, I'm not holding this thing to like a $10,000 price target. I'll buy back in when the bear market hits again. Timmy, what are you begging everyone to buy now then? Any altcoins? I said this on Friday. Buy some fucking altcoins. I mean, what am I stacking pretty aggressively at the minute? World of It Financial, if I'm dead honest. That may turn out to bite me in the ass, but yeah. World of It Financial, I'd say I'm probably buying more than I probably should do. And Ondo, I'm probably buying a bit more than I probably should do. Just my opinion. Joe Bro says, I think he means MSL 75. I don't realize. BTC custodial IRAs are offering staking just a handful of coins. DOT paying the highest in mine, 8.4%. Nice, Justin. Yeah, DOT's a bit of an undervalued one, isn't it? Never really got into it. I think another cycle is in for Atom. What about you? Nobody talks about Cosmos. Is he OG? Oh, yeah, it is. The only thing, do you know why I don't think people like Atom? What the hell happened to, oh my God, what is this? What happened to Atom on Friday? It collapsed, didn't it? I mean, literally like went to nearly zero. Yeah, dropped to 290. I don't mind Atom. I like the Cosmos ecosystem, by the way. IBC and all that. I do like it. I just think that not enough people really care about it, and there's not enough like hype around it. I still think it's a pretty good chain, by the way. Can you look at Nexra? Oh man, Nexra. Did we talk about Nexra ages ago? I feel like we did. I feel like Nexra was something we discussed. Tim, was that something you brought up? I feel like Tim might have brought that up. Difficult to own too much Ondo, in my opinion. Stu, you're probably right, in fairness. And by the way, my hedge on Ondo is that they actually tokenize the US Treasury market, which is $25 trillion, which is like, just in my opinion. Yeah, Nexra. I mean, look at it. It's going fucking ham right now. I mean, I don't know where it is in the longer term. Yeah, so this is the problem. Yeah, it's going crazy right now. But is it ever going to get back to this? 28 cents? Probably not. Is it doing in volume? 20 milli? Okay. Market cap 19. Yeah, I mean, it's a long way from home. A bit like Dorothy, really, but whether it gets there, I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, it's not the worst coin in the world, but I'm not sure about it. Alvin says, let's all buy Lung. 279. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Let's all buy that. I don't even know what the price of it is right now. Ask Bleaves. Ask Bleaves. Bleaves knows what's up. Oh, look at that. Terra Classic. USTC is up 12.5%. Look at that in the last 24 hours. Thanks, Coin Market Cap. And they say your phones don't listen to you. Like, what? Jesus. What's your thoughts? VWA. I don't even know what that is. VWA. See, this is the thing. I feel like sometimes I just don't know what the hell's going on in this market. Vita Wealth Assets. Is that it? Is that a coin? VWA. I mean, in fair play, it looks all right on the daily, but I don't know what it is. I literally have no idea. And it looks really... Does it look manipulated? It looks a little bit manipulated. Looks a little bit manipulated. But if that's it, I mean, is it that VWA? Vita Wealth Asset? I mean, it has nothing in the pool for supply, which is kind of crazy. It feels a little bit like Elephant Coin. $115 million markup. Yeah, I don't know about that. It looks a little bit too manipulated for me, personally. Look at this. Asta, though, up 21%. Go, Asta! Let's get it! Next is like a cousin to Quant. Was it you that brought it up on the channel, Tim? I feel like it was. AI Doge as a rupee man. AI, is that still going? AI Doge was like a big player like 18 months ago. What do you think of AVAX? First 5, I'm bullish on AVAX. I think it's really undervalued right now, personally. Really undervalued, in my opinion. Would buying Solana at 196 be daft? Longer term, no. Ask yourself this, though, right? If let's say you do want to buy Solana, I wouldn't put my entire portfolio in. Don't forget, you're going to get some crazy volatility in the markets tomorrow. We might get a dump, you know. We might get 5, 6, 7, 8% correction. Who knows? So if you are going to look to buy some Sol, then you may want to just, let's say you got $500. Buy 200 now and buy 200 tomorrow and buy 150 that. You know, like do it that way. But I think longer term, by the way, I expect Solana to do $600 to $800. That's my opinion, by the way. I think it's going to be good. And don't forget, you can earn 7.45% APY if you stake it on Phantom Wallet as well. Teleman says no bargains left now. I don't know if that's true. Will come through as Vanguard. Think it's a rug pull, but slightly backed it. Vanguard? Oh, no. Okay, so that's not what I've got then. Vanguard. Oh, here we are. Yeah, I think I've got it. I do. It doesn't look like it's a rug pull. Oh my God, what is that? It looks awful. I don't think it's not a rug pull. It looks like they've frozen the contract though. Oh God, this looks awful, by the way. So it's got a freezable function on the contract. Yeah, there's just no way on this earth this would have ever been anything I would have invested in. Yeah, I think that's a scam, by the way. I hate to break it to you. I hope you don't have too much money in it, but it looks like a scam. When will XRP go to explode? I mean, hopefully, if you get these ETFs, they could be pretty tasty. Trump up 8%, only another 100 before I break even. Get it, mouse. I'm not too familiar with contract reading on Solana. You can't even see it, can you? I always forget about this. Yeah, it looks like a scam, by the way. It's got a freezable. It looks like they've frozen the. It looks like they've frozen the contract as well. So yeah, I would argue that that probably is some sort of scam. Just FYI. Right, let's close all that down. Close all that down. Man, BTC, look at this, pushing like a lunatic right now. So it's interesting when you look at this stuff. BTC just dropped then 114.9. We'll have liquidated a couple of shorts. Boom, back up to 115.5. Might even break 116 by the end of the day. Man, we could be in for a pretty spicy day tomorrow. We could be in for a pretty spicy day. I'm just checking a quick look at the pre-markets. Pre-markets are getting better, actually. Hong Kong Stock Exchange now only 1.7% down. Nikkei down 1. The VIX was 33, is now 31. Man, yeah, this market could get pretty tasty by the opens. Man, it could be interesting tomorrow. Could be interesting. What's your top 5 alts for the best returns this run? Come on. What are we buying? Mate, Johnny, you need to go watch my videos. What would be my... If someone said to me, right, 2bit, tell me your top 5. Bang. Right now. You have to do it. What would I say? From this moment... AVAX, Solana, Sui, World of Bit Financial, Pump Fund. There you go. Now, I think Pepe, Bonk. I mean, Zebek could be good. Aerodrome Finance might be good. I mean, who knows? Coinbase might announce that Aerodrome Finance is the fucking coin of like the base chain. Then get ready. That'll be $10 before you know it. Hopefully with like 100% staking reward as well, which would be even better. But yeah. Hunter! Good to see you, man. It's a good job I'm still live. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been here. Do you know anything about Block DAG? Only a little bit. Weirdly, this might sound crazy actually, but the person that I met through BlockDAG has actually sent me a miner. I actually might have a miner in my house in like 2 days' time, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, I've done a couple of videos on it. I think that I hear some good stuff about it, but I don't know where it is right now. But their whole mining ecosystem looks pretty good. I know that someone in one of the groups I'm in is like super bullish on it, by the way. But yeah, I mean, what is it specifically you're asking about? Your thoughts on Chainlink? Yeah. I think Chainlink will do very well. Casper's up 10%, by the way. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Friend of mine reckons November is going to be big for XRP, like really big. I mean, I think once you get ETF listings, I think it's going to be pretty good. Pre-market's looking good. Yeah, they're looking better. You still got the Dow Jones, by the way, is still down 900 points. So that's going to be pretty tasty. But yeah, the S&P at 185 looks okay, in fairness. And BTC is rising. Yeah, look, 115.5. So I'd like to 116 would be pretty nice, wouldn't it? What about World Ondo Link? Do you think Sui can do $20? And thoughts on Aethia? Aethia alike. I don't think it's got much past maybe 1 cent. 10 cents maybe. WorldCoin, yeah, I guess it. Ondo bullish on Chainlink, bullish on as well. Yeah, BC back to 122. Maybe. I mean, it will do eventually, but yeah. Is Block DAG for real and no scam? I mean, the honest answer is, from what I see, what I looked at when I spoke to the team, all looks okay to me. They've got proper miners going out. I was offered a miner and I didn't want it. But I mean, you've just seen the market's liquidated $2 billion. You know, but I mean, as far as I'm aware, yeah, I mean, the couple of groups I'm in, they're like super crazy bullish about it. Would I go and put my entire portfolio into it? No, that would be crazy. But you know, definitely has an opportunity, I think. Swiftcoin, yeah, I mean, people are that. Bag some XCN and Swiftcoin. That's true. Doge One Satellite. Cool. Don't know what it means, but yeah. What's your thoughts on Doge One Satellite? That looks like a scam too. I do not know anything about it. Doge One Satellite. Is that literally what it's called? Doge One. Oh, there it is. Doge One Satellite. Let's have a look. It's on Solana. It's 1 million. Ooh. I mean, the audit looks okay. I think it just looks like it's been dumped on, personally. I mean, the top wallets look a little bit better, in fairness, but yeah, just looks like it. Do you know what? Do you know what it looks like? It's got loads of insiders holding a lot of the supply. That would be my guess. That would be my guess. And when I look at it, you got loads of these top wallets. I don't necessarily think it's a scam. I just think there's a lot of coins held by a very, very few amount of people. That'd be my view on that one. Right. Anyway, what time are we on? Nearly 20 past. So we've been live like an hour and 20 minutes. All right, cool. Will the ETFs have an effect on the price of XRP? Yeah, I hope so. Don't forget, loads of these ETFs are going to be buying XRP. Look at the ETF for who the hell was who's the other ETF? I've got it here. Who was that? I thought I had it on here. Oh, here it is, yeah. Rex Osprey. Yeah, that was like $32 million in its first 24-hour trading. Like, so yeah, I think when the ETFs come in, they could be pretty tasty, in my opinion. We'll have to wait and see. Right, everybody, that is me. Thank you so much for the new channel members. Welcome. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget, link in the description, or you can subscribe on here and you can grab that channel membership. As always, we'll be back tomorrow night, hopefully, with some good news. Jamelia, I just saw your message, says, dump tomorrow. Don't get too excited. It's all good. What would you say is the next Solana or Big Ripper to make thousands and millions for investors? That's for me to know, and you to join the channel to find out. And I have no idea. I have no idea. Right. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. And we'll be back tomorrow night, as always, looking at all things cryptocurrency. So if you want to get behind that, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the follow button. Do not be late. It's going to be epic. As always, thanks so much. And I'll catch you guys.